Welcome back to the 4 Mile Circus. It's episode 5 of Play the Game, where I dig in the crates on itch and drag some beauties out into the light. First up is Vault Raiders, and that is by, let me check what's their names. That is by Hake Games, and it is described as a fast-paced 3D voxel top-down shooter with roguelike and dungeon crawler elements, taking the best from each genre. Clever boys. You start in this sort of lobby area. Just talking about this briefly, and then you get to choose between where you get to choose the weapons that you want to carry. You can carry 2 at any one time. That's the crossbow at the moment, which is quite nifty. There's a crossbow, a shotgun, which this is good for mob control. I think that might be a pistol, which seems like a hand cannon, and a machine gun, which obviously I go for because it requires less skill. So it takes place in an epic underworld filled with enemies which destroy everything on their way. You're chasing a legend, basically. There's the legend of what's it called? Mutmara, which is a legendary colossal maze that extends deep underground. Is said to be the place where ancient relics with powers beyond our understandings lie. So there's loads of background information on this. I like it. There's a whole sort of world they've built up already around it. And so we're obviously raiding that dungeon. We're Vault Raiders. That vault, should I say. I love the style of it. I'm sure there's other games like this, but I can't think of exactly one. But I'd like this. I would like this a lot. I'd like to play this. I'd like to play this with friends as well. Like multiplayer, I could see this being great fun. And as you can see, I'm destroying stuff and picking up blue dots. Now that, I'm not sure what those are. They seem like a sort of a currency of some sort. There they are, there again. And there is elements of this game where you get to enhance and upgrade yourself. I think, let's have a look. Enhance your aim and upgrade your weapons. Your wits and reflexes will be your best ally. So you can upgrade systems, allies, destructible allies. Interesting. What would be allies? Wonder what you get there. A destructible environment, strong enemies, epic weapons, final bosses, hazards, and so on. So yeah, perhaps there's a sort of shop system where you get to spend those blue dots that I'm picking up and upgrade stuff. I love the swinging door noise. Okay, this is the boss. That's a nice bit of off-screen shooting. Okay, there is a special that you can use. I'm going to use it now, which is your right mouse button, and I think it's just a very quick succession of shots. I'm not sure what exactly that is. I guess each weapon has them. Take some of that. Take that, pillar. So it'd be interesting, the sort of combinations of the 4 different weapons you can use. And there you go. I've aced him. No problem. It was easy. And I get a bronze skull for that. Possibly that's for use in, you'd use it in the next levels or whatever. But there you go, that's it. Quick level. Again, it's called Vault Raiders. It's available on itch for free. It is a startup. They have a running Kickstarter campaign, so it might be worth getting across there and getting involved in that. Next up is a game called Dradis. It is described as a simple experimental game. It seems like an experience more than anything. As you can see, you start with this sort of plane, this top of this cube that you can rotate the camera around and to look at it from various different angles from above and around. And you, once you click on the plane, you then produce these towers. If you click once on a tower, it goes to one height. A second time it gets slightly higher. A third time it gets higher still. I think the volume of the sound that they produces becomes higher the bigger the tower. A fourth click on the tower when they're at the full height breaks it down into its sort of component parts, which I've been calling seeds, because as those component parts fall down, if they hit other towers, they cause them to grow. If these parts fall on the grey area on that surface plane, they will produce new towers. So it's like a seeding process almost, where, as you can see now, I've sort of placed loads of them on, and as they break down, the seeds fall, hit other towers, force those towers to grow, they in turn break, and it sort of makes this cascading effect, which is hypnotic once you get into it. As I say, it's described as an experimental game. The towers have a natural tendency to recede and crumble once they've reached their apex, so that the surface of nodes is an ever-changing structure with sounds that evolve along with the player experience. As I say, there's no real challenge or objective, but it's as I say, it's a sort of experience, and it is produced by the guys at Beaupre. As I say, I found this on itch, and it's free. It's free to download and play. It's sort of mesmerising. You've got to get into it. Yeah, and it's quite interesting watching these seeds roll and hit new parts of the map, which then produce towers, which then it's fascinating. So I'd hardly recommend it. Get yourselves over to itch and download it. As I say, it's called Dradis, and it's by the guys at Beaupre. And here, look, it's slowly going to sleep. All the towers are stopped now. I love it, and the sound disappears. How about that? Really nice. Go get it. Next up is a game called The Spread. It's described as a 2D single-player game where the player is a virus trying to infect as many cells as possible. The game takes place on the cellular level of a creature, where the game mode switches between attacking the body and avoiding the... I like the music. I like the music straight away. Avoiding the defense systems. It is made by LCI, they describe themselves, which is 5, 6, 7, 8 people. I don't know whether it was made particularly for... maybe it was made for the Global Game Jam. Yeah, I don't think it says there, but I see that in their links. Okay, so I like the start of it straight away. You are this... you're this virus, as you can see in there. It's got little legs and arms, and you can sort of push yourself off and move yourself around in the bloodstream, I presume we're in, and gain entry to these cells. Now, I don't know if anyone's ever played Rayman, but it's very similar to some of the stuff that you get in Rayman, sort of exploring, going around some objects inside them, and I really like it. You're collecting RNA, I believe, your ribonucleic acid. Oh, just squeeze through there, and all the time you've got these antibodies coming after you, which are these sort of spiked spheres that are coming after me. They can come straight through the cell walls and get at me. So it's about getting into these places, attacking the RNA, and then and getting out of dodge before the antibodies get to you. Now, I enjoyed playing this. It was good fun. It's as I say, it's visually very interesting. I love the styling of it, and it's a nice, quick little game to play. Oh, get away! They're coming for me. I don't know what happens if you can infect all of these cells that we're running around. As you can see, each cell's got like a little tear in it, where you can worm your way in and gain access to the inside of it. So I don't know whether it's you carry on and can complete the game in any way by getting access to all the cells, because once you have attacked all the RNA inside each of these cells, they go out, they black out like that. So maybe you can. But I like it anyway. It's free. It's available on itch for downloading, and again, it's called Spread, and it's by the guys and girls at LCI. Obviously made in Unity, and they are, the gift that keeps giving. Lovely. So head on over to itch and try it for yourselves. Last up is a game called Meteor by Esquirrel. Now, I've included it partially because of its fantastic intro. I'll shut up while you watch it. I don't understand any Spanish, by the way. But we've got men in gas masks. We've got speeding Audis. Fabulous women being arrested. It all looks interesting. And there you go. I mean, who puts a cinematic intro on the start of their indie game? It's fabulous. I don't think I've seen anything like that before, so I included that just for the sheer style of it. Now, once the game begins, you take control of this our tattooed heroine. She is obviously in prison for a crime she didn't commit. I don't know, I'm making that up. And she has to escape. You have to avoid being spotted, basically, by the various security cameras. And as you saw there, there's sort of flying drones with cameras on them. So there's stealth elements come into the game where you're required to creep about, crawl around in the dark and avoid detection, which works quite well. I think you then have to find your way out of the prison, but again, without knowing much Spanish, I might be missing some of the clues. So I quite like the style of it. It's a fairly accomplished game. We've got sound, we've got music, we've got 3D effects, so you can see the drones are sort of piloting around on patterns in which you have to sort of avoid them. But I like the look of it. I also, I like that. I'm caught. I like the mentality of putting a very stylized intro like that into the game. I think it's a clever move, and I applaud them for that. I was spotted again. So there you go. The game is called Meteor, and it's available on itch. It's described as a walkthrough, and it's a prison escape, and it is by Esquirelaire. I hope I haven't butchered that name. Esquirelaire. Okay, that wraps it up for episode 5 of Play the Game. I hope you find some of those of interest. I hope you go onto itch and download them. That's the idea. Go and have a go. Play the game. Alright, if you like that, hit the like button, or even better, subscribe. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.